Hey everyone, this is a pretty small LEGO Star Wars set. It's simply called AAT, the Armored Assault Tank. Set comes with the tank itself, 2 battle droids, Ahsoka Tano, and 1 very special clone trooper. I'm starting out with the figures because there's probably more interest in these than the build in this case. This is inspired by the final arc of the final season of Clone Wars, and Ahsoka Tano here is intended to be a little bit more grown up than before, though not quite at the stage we see in Rebels. The headgear piece was designed for Shaak Ti, so the proportions aren't perfect there, but they're pretty good. I think it would probably be perfect for a Rebels version of her, but it's not too bad here. She gets the blue lightsabers, and the production work here I think is very, very good. Now, the clone trooper is a 332nd trooper. It's inspired by Ahsoka. It just kind of, again, ties into that whole final arc of the story, and I think the production there is pretty good, except it really, really needs blue pauldrons. It needs them badly. Not necessarily dual molded, like I would have been perfectly happy with just a single paint application to each. Didn't need to be super big or anything, just a little splotch would have been so much better, because as it is, he's just looking a little bit lacking to me personally. It's also a shame that there's only one of these included in this, the only set that gets one of them at all. Probably a lot of people will want to mass those. Makes it a bit of an expensive proposition. Underneath, Ahsoka has a secondary face that's not too extreme with its expression. You know, it's not too strong. And then we have the new version of a clone head, which is so superior to the old angry clone that was much overused. We will not miss you, at least I will not miss you, angry clone. This one is fine to me. And then these battle droids are identical CIS AAT drivers, and that's awkward for a few reasons. First of all, LEGO previously called this exact figure Kashyyyk battle droid just because of the coloration. Secondly, there are 2 drivers in a set that has just 1 tank. Thirdly, LEGO only calls one of them an AAT driver. Congratulations on them getting it right, but then why is only one of them called that? The other one's simply called a battle droid. I think they could have just included a regular one for the alternate, just a plain tan one, but whatever, they are what they are, and they're fine for what they are. The tank to me, at first glance, looks pretty good. Second glance, looks pretty good. Third glance, I notice a few things that are a bit wrong with it. First of all, I like this size and this general scale. I'm really glad that they came up with this size. Back in 2015, they did the Trade Federation version that had this exact same scale. I feel like it's a really good scale to go with LEGO minifigures without just giving you excess. You don't need the original size like they did before, which had better shaping, especially down here on the lower forward portion of the hull where they had the printed quarter saucer dishes. Those were really nice. But I like this size. However, the turret on this one, especially this section back here, the rear section of it, is really wide, awkwardly so. Like, this looks like it was designed for the original scale, much larger scale of AATs, but then the body is the 2015 scale. It's weird. The more you look at it, if you really go back and forth and check into pictures of the actual CIS AATs, like, they look like they have little beady heads, like pin heads almost. By comparison, this one's almost like super deformed. The other thing is that the barrel and rangefinder over here, I believe, is swapped. The longer thing should be up top, but that's super easy to fix, fortunately. But overall, you know what? The build of this felt really good. It was very enjoyable to put it together. Had a lot of fairly straightforward but well-chosen techniques that go together. Sorry, that was a little bit off right there. I accidentally had pushed it down. But yeah, it goes together pretty smoothly. The turret is able to rotate around a full 360 degrees and just keep spinning. I probably would have liked a ratchet there, but it's actually not that bad. It doesn't flop around too much. There's enough friction in there. It gets a little bit offset, so so it's not falling immediately. So that's not bad at all. You've got a hatch up here. Okay. Oops. Actually, popped to the top fully off, but that's where you put the driver or tank commander, and he does have to have his head folded down fully. Don't feel bad for him. He is a droid, and these battle droids do spend much of their lives folded up, so that's perfectly fine for him. I have no issue with that. This hatch is better than on the 2015 version, I think. More accurate. That guy fits in there just fine. I don't know what his role is supposed to be, but he also has a couple of printed consoles down in there, the 1x2 cheese slopes. And yeah, plenty of space there. They just don't give you space like clips for their personal weapons, their blasters with this, but you can just kind of throw them into the top or down here. And then this has the spring-loaded shooters that are integrated pretty nicely into the base, and they've got actuators for those back here. So, you know, the actual shooter part is integrated deeply in there, and then they just have the easy access to it. And the way this is set up, I mean, it does have plenty of excess overhang on the rear like you want to see, and it doesn't fall back at all. Like the center of gravity is just fine. They've got inverted clear tiles underneath. Weird to see that little bit of pink showing up right there, but who cares? You know, these allow you to move over a surface relatively easily. And just overall, I'm pretty satisfied with this thing. I just think that they overdid it with the size of the turret. And yeah, you can just swap these if you want to. Oh yeah, you can also turn these up and down. So that's good. And you can elevate the barrel as well. Can't go down. You can only be at level and up. You know, it would have been nice to get just a little bit of range, but it's not a big deal at all. So overall, pretty happy with this thing. I just need to squish it. There are not many spare parts here, and there were only 2 stickers, which was definitely not excessive for a set of this size. What is excessive is, of course, the price, because this is 2020, it's Lego, and this is not a Ninjago set. This costs $40 US, compared to the aforementioned Trade Federation one from 2015, same size, which was $25, to put that into perspective. From $25, we spend 5 years waiting, and we get to $40. And this doesn't have that many more pieces. It does have 4 figures compared to, I believe the previous one had only 3. So, okay, 30 is fine. And just looking at what I see here, 30 is a perfectly fine price for it. 35 I could even see. I would wish that it was a little bit cheaper at 35, but I would be okay with it. But 40 does feel like too much. At least it's not ridiculous. You know, it's not completely out of the range of reasonability and, you know, the ability to apply some kind of logic to it. Price to part ratio, whatever, you know. Just based on what I see here, if it was 35, I'd be okay. If it was 30, it'd be great. So that's that. Overall, design's pretty good. Squish that. Just do it. Flip those. Get lots of these. Paint little bits of blue onto their shoulders. You know, there are a lot of little things, I think, that could have been done better with this set. Price to design. But again, the build of it was definitely enjoyable. As a toy, for folks who are not too worried about it being canonically perfect, it's good. It's definitely good. Makes for a good toy. Like that scale, like the build, like how it went together, building techniques and all. Playability is definitely good. Ability to still put 2 figures in there, spin this around, do your make pretend shooting, do your actual shooting with the spring-loaded shooters built into the base of it. If you want to, don't do that. If you don't want to, that's all good. So yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy with this. Wish it was a little bit cheaper and wish a handful of things were tweaked in its design. You can check out the build if you want to see how it went together for yourself. I've got the real-time one, which is more of the put in the background while you do other things kind of version, or the time-lapse speed build version. If you want to see the whole thing, beginning to end, you can check out one of those via the links in the video description or the end screen. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope I showed you everything that you wanted to see with this, and I'll talk to you again soon.